It has been over 300 days since Season 1 of the PokeType League started, and since the very beginning, with every passing round, every passing game, the toxin has been brewing, slowly sleeping into the pores of every side to cross their path. There has been no cure, there has been no antidote, and one by one they have all fallen, but they have all fallen into a sinister place, somewhere where there is no light, a destination that has allowed the evil to grow, the darkness to manifest, and it has gotten stronger. Finally, we have arrived at Pokemon Day 2024, and it will all come to a head in our Champions game. We will crown our very first PokeType League champion, but will this be the season that overflowed with poison, or will it be the season that has succumbed to the dark?
Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and thank you to Queen Nido for that introduction. But we are finally here for our Champions game on Pokemon Day. After over 300 days we are here, and it is the Spikemas Wagrants going head to head with the Fuchsia Royal Gators to become our champion. So let us know in the comments below who you think will win. Will it be the dark types? Will it be the poison types? Let's send it down. This is it. This is everything to play for. These next 3 matchups, or potentially 2, is everything that matters, as it is that Alolan Muck and Toxicroak starting out for the Fuchsia Royal Gators. It is Roaring Moon and Luxray, the Terrestrial Pokemon, starting out for the Spikemas Suede Grunts. And the Fuchsia Royal Gators have yet to defeat the Spikemas Suede Grunts in an official game, so they are going to have to get their first 2 victories over this side to become the champions, as it is Roaring Moon immediately going with the Bug Buzz, capitalizing on Muck's part. Dark type as Toxicroak is going to go with the Mean Look onto the terrestrialized Luxray here, which is going to make it so Luxray can no longer escape, but it was not looking to go anywhere, as it's going to respond with the Magma Storm, and it looks like they're trying to take out their fellow Dark type. Are the Spikemas Suede Grunts going for Muck yet again, who has become trapped by that swirling magma. And before it takes more damage from that, it goes with the conversion. It's going to change its typing, and it becomes the normal type, hopefully trying to shed that intention that the Spikemas Suede Grunts do have on it, as it does feel the effects of that Magma Storm. And Roaring Moon now with the Amnesia, it is going to go with the special defense boost nice and early here, as it has got that 101 base special defense with a Misty Explosion. And already an explosion in this matchup as Toxicroak takes itself out, connecting with Roaring Moon and Luxray with that super effective move, but nowhere near enough damage to get an elimination, as the Luxray is going to capitalize, going with the Temper Flare onto Muck to take Muck out in this matchup. And it is an early lead here for the Spikemas Suede Grunts, as we do have Sneasler coming out onto the field, and it is going to be joined by Glamora, as that pressure ability is being exerted by Sneasler. And it does have that speed advantage as it goes for the Topsy-Turvy, but unfortunately that does fail, and it opens the door for Roaring Moon to capitalize with the Grass Pledge, going for Glamora, trying to capitalize on that part. Rock typing that has her response with the Aerial Ace, gets a critical hit there on Roaring Moon, a good connection as Luxray now with the Tail Glow on the field. It is looking to boost those stats in its special attack, as Sneasler now is going to go for the Shadow Punch onto Luxray. Not very effective though. Luxray is able to tank that move, and Roaring Moon goes with the Leech Life, focusing in on Glamora with that not very effective move, getting the critical hit though, as Roaring Moon is going to be able to restore a bit of health with that as well. And there is that Toxic Debris being activated as well, so the Poison Spikes have been set up on the side of the Spikemas Suede Grunt, as the Parabolic Charge from Glamora here, not very effective on Roaring Moon, and not enough to take out Luxray, as Glamora does hit everyone on the field, including Sneasler, to get some health restored here, which is actually a really good play, because that Toxic Debris can be set up twice to double stack that entry hazard and make anybody who comes on the field for the Spikemas Suede Grunts get badly poisoned. As now we have the Amnesia from Luxray, and I don't know if boosting its defense, its special defense right now, is a very good idea, because it is on the receiving end of that rapid spin, and Sneasler gets that easy elimination of Luxray, which the Fuchsia Royal Gators desperately needed here to prevent the Spikemas Suede Grunts from running away with this game 1. Now the coil from Roaring Moon to boost that attack, that impressive 139 base attack. You do not want to take physical damage from Roaring Moon, as it's boosted its accuracy as well, but the Nuzzle here onto Roaring Moon is not very effective from Glamora, but it's going to slow down Roaring Moon, leaving it paralyzed, but it may also be unable to move, as out comes King Gambit for the Spikemas Suede Grunts, and now it's exerting its pressure over the Fuchsia Royal Gators. Sneasler though is going to go with the flip turn onto Roaring Moon, not very effective. and Sneasler is going to go back to the bench with that as well. It is still in this matchup as out comes Overcool, another dark poison type for the Fuchsia Royal Gators, as the Draco Meteor onto King Gambit is not very effective, but it is a good hit from Glamora, who does lower its special attack to do so as well, and King Gambit is going to respond with the Heat Crash going for Overcool, and it does very minimal damage. Overcool is able to tank that move, and Roaring Moon with the expanding force, but it goes for Overcool. It should know better to not go for a fellow dark type who are immune to psychic type attacks. And another parabolic charge here from Glamora. It is going to restore some more health, taking energy from everybody on the field, including its own teammate Overcool, who thankfully doesn't take too much damage from its fellow poison type here. Pretty level early matchup here from both sides as the Iron Head onto Roaring Moon gets that quick critical hit elimination. Roaring Moon is taken out, leveling the playing field here as we have King Gambit responding with the Muddy Water that is going to hit both Overcool, and it is super effective on Glamora, also lowering the accuracy here of the poison types. And if they cannot hit their targets, they cannot get eliminations, as out comes Samurai in its Unovian form, landing in those spikes. So it is poisoned, and the reason it didn't happen to King Gambit is because of that steel typing as we get the attack order, which King Gambit is able to avoid there from Glamora. Overcool, though, looking to do its part, goes with the Hyper Voice, connecting with both Samurai and King Gambit. Not very effective on King Gambit, but gets a good connection on Samurai, who responds with the Fire Fang onto Overcool here, and King Gambit looking to follow it up with the triple arrows. It could get the elimination, and Overcool is taken out of this matchup. The Spike and the Sweat Guns have taken back the lead here in game 1 of our Champions game, as Samurai does feel the effects of that poisoning for the first time in this matchup, and back out onto the field it is Sneasler, again exerting that pressure over the Spike and the Sway Grunts, and Sneasler still the quickest on the field with the Retaliate on the Samurai, and the Samurai is eliminated. A perfect retaliation there as Samurai is taken out. It is a 3 versus 3 matchup here, and Glamora follows it up with the Milk Drink. Glamora is making sure that it is at full strength in this matchup, or as close as it can be, as King Gambit with the flip turn we saw this earlier by Sneasler, super effective on Glamora, but yet again those spikes are set up. King Gambit knows it doesn't have to worry about it when it comes back out onto the field, but whoever comes out for the spike and the Swag Guns will be badly poisoned. But it's Hydreigon with that levitate ability, so they know that Hydreigon doesn't have to worry about landing in those toxic spikes, which practically makes that toxic debris irrelevant as we get the tailwind from Sneasler. It's already the quickest on the field, but this is going to give a boost to Glamora as well, as it goes for the belly drum, but it is going to fail. It doesn't have enough health left to do so, and this allows the Inferno from Hydreigon, but Glamora is able to avoid that attack. King Gambit now with the Torment onto Glamora, going to make it so it struggles here on the field as it is subjected to that Torment. But first Sneasler with the triple axle. This is going to get stronger every time, and it's going for Hydreigon. This is going to be super effective. It gets the second hit, the third hit. Hydreigon is able to hold on after those 3 connections, but barely. But Glamora, no moves left. It's going to struggle, and it goes for Hydreigon. Hydreigon is eliminated by the Fuchsia Royal Gators, who have just taken the lead for the first time in this matchup. But Glamora does get some recoil damage. King Gambit needs to go for the easy elimination. It goes with the reversal. It goes for Sneasler, and it is not very effective, so very little damage being done. As out comes Bombardier, who also doesn't have to worry about those toxic spikes because it's a flying type, but it's immediately on the receiving end of the Endeavor. And now Glamora with the Blood Moon, it is going to go for King Gambit. Not very effective. Gets an okay hit though on the Steel Dark type, as Bombardier going for its first move of the matchup with the Fire Fang onto Glamora. Not very effective. Puts Glamora into knockout range. King Gambit looking to follow up, goes with the double hit, but goes for Sneasler. Gets a really good hit on that first one too, and just as good on the second connection of that double hit. And now Sneasler with the Sludge onto Bombardier. A really good hit, and Bombardier is going to be left poisoned regardless of those spikes, and it is going to be feeling the damage of that. But first Glamora is going to continue to struggle, going for King Gambit, and with the recoil damage, Glamora is taken out of this matchup, which it means it is now a 2 versus 2 match in game 1 of our Champions game. But the Giga Impact from Bombardier going for Sneasler. Sneasler is eliminated from this matchup. Practically a huge play, but there is one Pokemon remaining for the Fuchsia Royal Gators here. King Gambit with the Magic Powder. It is going to fail. There is no target on the field at the moment. And there is Bombardier feeling the effects of that poisoning as that tailwind peters out for the Fuchsia Royal Gators, and it is Toxapex coming out on the side of the Fuchsia Royal Gators. Bombardier has to recharge, but Toxapex is so defensive. It is on the receiving end of the Fairy Wind, which is not very effective from King Gambit. Toxapex goes with the Doom Desire, choosing Doom, as the Destiny focusing in on King Gambit there. And there is Bombardier still having its health chipped away, now being in knockout range thanks to that poisoning, but Bombardier with the speed advantage goes with the Supercell Slam. This is going to be super effective. Fantastic hit there onto Toxapex. King Gambit looking to follow up, goes with the rapid spin. Toxapex is in knockout range. Spikeman Swaggrunts are in full control as King Gambit gets the speed boost. Those poison spikes are gone, but Toxapex with the stomping tantrum. It will not work on Bombardier, but it is going to connect. Oh, sorry, it only goes for Bombardier, but Bombardier feeling the effects of that poisoning. King Gambit is who the target should have been as it goes for the snipe shot. It is not very effective onto Toxapex. Bombardier is going to follow it up with the Worry Seed. This is going to give Toxapex that Insomnia ability, and I'm sure it will be up all night long. If it loses here right now, that Insomnia ability will prevent it from being able to go to sleep. And Toxapex, though, with the Water Spout, this will connect with both Bombardier and King Gambit, but it does not do enough to get an elimination. But Bombardier, sorry, before that even happens, King Gambit is on the receiving end of the Doom Desire. Not very effective, but it puts it in knockout range, and Bombardier is eliminated from the poisoning. This game 1 is still anybody's. King Gambit, though, with the speed advantage, goes for the Thunder Wave. This is going to slow down Toxapex, although it is already a very slow Pokemon, only 35 base speed. But if it is unable to move to that paralysis, that is fantastic for the Swag Grunts. But Toxapex shakes it off, and it goes with the Crush Claw. Not enough to get the elimination. It is not very effective, but it does lower the defense of King Gambit, who doesn't have much health left anyway. It goes with the Defog. It needs to go on the offensive and get the elimination because it's just as easy of a target right now as Toxapex. As Toxapex with the Ice Spinner couldn't get the job done. And it does. It's not very effective, but it's effective enough to get the elimination. The Fuchsia Royal Gators have taken game 1. They are in full control heading into game 2, and it's Toxapex that gets them the victory as we get a field reset. And this time it's more Bostiff and Skuntank starting out for the Spikeman Swag Punch. It is Goodra and Toxtricity starting out for the Fuchsia Royal Gators. And as it has done all season long, Goodra taking on that poisonous terrestrial form with that liquid ooze dripping from it. You do not want to be touched by that poison dripping off of Goodra, I am sure. And it is Mabostiff, though, going immediately with the Discharge, hitting everybody on the field. It's not very effective, though, on Toxtricity as Skuntank looks to follow it up with the Fissure. But Goodra is able to avoid that attack, and this allows Goodra to go for the Ingrain. Nice and early in this matchup, it is going to have its health restored in between turns, have been planted those roots. But first, Toxtricity with the Fury Cutter here on a Skuntank gets a good hit there, and there is Goodra having its health restored as they have that 1 game advantage. If they win here, they are our champions as we get the Water Pulse from Mabostiff on the Goodra there. Gets some okay damage, but Skuntank does follow it up here with the Bitter Malice going for Toxtricity. They are on the offensive here. They know they need this victory here in game 2 as Toxtricity has its attack lowered, but Goodra now with the Simple Beam onto Skuntank, it is going to give it that simple ability, getting rid of that Aftermath ability. That could be a crucial play, but Toxtricity now setting up those toxic spikes nice and early here on the side of the Spikeman Swag Grunts. We've seen the Fuchsia Royal Gators do this strategy before, and it has worked fantastically for them, having those spikes set up early in games. Mabostiff now with the overheat gets a really good hit onto Goodra, but it is going to lower that special attack of Mabostiff as Skuntank is going to go for the Spatial Rend. It's going for Toxtricity. They are continuing on the offensive, and Toxtricity is in knockout range as Goodra here is going to go with the Explosion. That is a very reckless play, but it clears the field. Everybody on the field is eliminated. We are going to have a field reset. It is going to be starting fresh as a 4v4 matchup. I do not know what the Fuchsia Royal Gators are thinking here, though, with that type of strategy. But Mabostiff is revealed to actually be Zoroark in its illusion form. Zoroark is taken out of this matchup, which means we know Mabostiff will be coming out onto the field, as at the moment that field is empty. And it is Mabostiff being joined by Roaring Moon as Muck in its Cantonian form comes out for the Fuchsia Royal Gators, and it's joined by Toxapex, and Roaring Moon and Mabostiff are going to land in those toxic spikes, so they are going to be having to contend with that poisoning as well. And Roaring Moon going with that dual wing beat, focusing in on Toxapex. They clearly want to get rid of Toxapex after what it did in game 1, getting that victory for the Fuchsia Royal Gators. Mabostiff here with the Tailwind. Now the speed advantage already is on the side of the Spikeman Swag Grunts. I don't know if they should have gone for that Tailwind. It is kind of unnecessary, but Muck is going to go with the Earthquake. It's going to hit everybody on the field. but that is very risky. It's super effective on Toxapex, even gets a critical hit on its own teammate. They are being absolutely reckless here in game 2, as we get the Perish Song now from Toxapex. They must know that having that game 1, they can be as reckless as they need to be to potentially throw the Spikemas Sway Grunts off their game. And it looks like every time they get into a low health range, they're going for sacrificial plays, as everybody on the receiving end of that Perish Song, everybody on the field has their count full. It's very, when it falls to 0, they will be eliminated. Future Royal Gators, again, absolutely reckless here in game 2, as the Stone Edge from Roman. Toxapex is able to avoid that attack. Mabostiff, though, with the Blaze Kick going for Muck, gets a really good connection here, and Muck is going to respond with the Howl. It is going to make it so that it gives itself a nice attack boost here, as well as giving the attack boost to Toxapex, who yet again is more of a defensive Pokemon, but it does go with the Future Sight, which will not matter, because the Dark types are immune to Psychic type moves, although that attack is still to be foreseen. Royal Moon is on the receiving end of that poisoning, as is Mabostiff, but everybody's Perish count now is going to fall to 2. And if everybody is eliminated at the end of this, yet again we will have an empty field, and then it'll become a 2 versus 2 battle, as we get the Outrage here from Roaring Moon, which eliminates Muck from this match. A fantastic connection. Mabostiff's going to follow it up, though, with the Hydro Pump. This won't be very effective on the Toxapex, but it completes the huge play, and that's why that Perish Song may have been very crucial, because Mabostiff and Roman have just set the Spikemas Sway Grunts up with a massive lead, that 4-2 advantage here in game 2. Those reckless plays not paying off, for the Future Royal Gators here in game 2, as those Perish counts fall to 1. And it is Overquill coming out for the Royal Gators, and it is going to be joined by Toxicroak with that part fighting type, and as the Intimidate is going to activate that Guard Dog ability of Mabostiff, boosting its attack. Royal Moon does have its attack lowered though, but Royal Moon continues the Outrage, going for Overquill. A fantastic connection. Mabostiff with the Acid Spray, they are focusing on Overquill here with that not very effective move, but it does lower that special defense of Overquill, who is going to go with the Explosion. And you have to think that is their strategy when they got low health, to go for their sacrificial play, but that has put Toxicroak as an easy target, because it has barely been able to hold on. Roman and Mabostiff are eliminated, but Toxicroak is all by itself. It goes for the Thundershock, but it has no target. It needs to be quicker than whoever comes out onto the side for the Spikemas Sway Grunts, as that Tailwind is petered out, and it is Hydreigon coming out, and it's joined by Luxray, and Luxray is going to land in those poisonous spikes, but a massive advantage for the Sway Grunts here in game 2, as that Intimidate is going to lower the attack stat of Toxicroak, and Luxray is going to Terrasilize, but I do not think that is necessary here. Toxicroak so low on energy, it is barely standing right now, and it is facing 2 of the top Pokemon we have seen all season long here. The Hydreigon with the speed advantage immediately goes with the Tri-Attack to get that easy second game victory, to make it a 1-all here, and we will be going to a game 3. And this is it, game 3 of our Champions game. Everything to play for. Glimmora and Goodra coming out for the Future Royal Gators. Mabostiff and Skuntank for the Spikemas Sway Grunts. Those reckless plays did not pay off for the Royal Gators in game 2. Will that cost them here in game 3? Let's just hope we don't see any more explosions, as Goodra takes on that Terrestrial form for what we know will be the last time this season. And it is Glimmora with the speed advantage going for the Rock Blast onto Skuntank. This multi-hit move could be good by the Future Royal Gators though, because they know a lot of the top Pokemon on the Swayed Grunts will not be appearing here in game 3. Mabostiff though with the Gigaton Hammer, bringing that hammer down hard onto Goodra, and it's followed up by the Fake Tears by Skuntank, shedding those Fake Tears for the faux poison type, that special defense lowered of Goodra, who goes with the role play onto Mabostiff here on the field. So that Sap Superior ability has just become the stakeout ability for Goodra, as Glimmora is going to go with the Fling. It's going to fling its Leopard Berry here, going for its fellow poison type, and Skuntank tanks that move fittingly enough, and it is going to proceed to eat that Leopard Berry here on the field. And Mabostiff with the Vacuum Wave, trying to take out the Pseudo Legendary, not very effective, but does put it in knockout range, and Skuntank could capitalize. It goes for the Fire Spin, but instead it goes for Glimmora, which is not very effective. However, Glimmora has become trapped in that Fiery Vortex, and Goodra with the Sand Attack but that keen eye of Skuntank, its accuracy will not be lowered here, and there is Glamora feeling the effects of that fire spin. It's yet to take that physical contact as it goes with the mortal spin, its signature move. Not very effective on Skuntank, but it does leave Mabostif with that poisoning, but it's also going to free it from the fire spin is Glamora. Mabostif with the drop kick onto Goodra. Goodra's still holding on, but it doesn't have that Sap Super ability. It would have had that boost here, but instead it gets the attack lowered. Now the acid from Skuntank hits both Glamora and Goodra. Not very effective, but effective enough to eliminate the pseudo legendary. The first Pokemon taken out of game 3 is Goodra. Spike and Spray Grunts with the early lead. And there is Mabostif feeling the effects of that poisoning. No toxic spikes necessary as it is Muck in its Alolan form coming out for the future Royal Gators. Glamora with the Lunar Blessing, a very clever play here. It is going to have its health restored. It would have also restored the health of Muck, but it is at full strength. There's a flip turn now from Mabostif onto Muck. We've seen this numerous times already. It is going to go back to the bench, and out in its place is Samurott coming out onto the field. Skuntank though with the triple axle. This is actually going to activate that toxic debris, and this is a triple hit move, which means it's instantly going to connect twice onto Glamora. So already that double stack of toxic spikes, whoever comes out onto the field, and we know that Mabostif will be coming back out onto the field, is going to be badly poisoned here as Muck with the Ingrain. It is setting itself up here by planting those roots, looking to have the long play here in this game 3, as it is going to have its health restored nice and quickly. Here is Samurott going with the Stuffed Cheeks. It is going to chow down on its Leopard Berry now so that it can boost that physical defense a great deal. And Glamora is going to lay the smack down here on to Samurott, who is revealed to be Zoroark in its illusion form. And Skuntank now with the block onto Glamora, making it so it can no longer escape, but nobody is looking to run away in this match. And Muck with the extreme speed on the Zoroark gets an okay hit there, but it is still going to have its health restored, that being Muck with those planted roots. And here is Zoroark with the speed advantage going for the Psychic Fangs. This is super effective and takes Glamora out of this match. A fantastic connection. Future Royal Gators are down 2 Pokemon already, and Skuntank follows it up with the Roar onto Muck, but due to its roots being planted, it is anchored in place, and this allows it to go with the Cotton Spore. This is going to connect with both Zoroark and Skuntank, lowering their speed a great deal. But I have to wonder, is Muck going to be able to move around the field faster than Zoroark here? I cannot wait to find that out. But first, it is Muck in its Cantonian form coming out, and Muck is quicker. It goes with the Parabolic Charge. It connects with everyone on the field so it can restore its health, even taking some from its fellow Muck here. But these 2 Mucks on the field, they have worked so well together as the Weather Ball from the Cantonian Muck onto Skuntank. A good connection there, doing some chip damage on its fellow Poison type, but the Shadow Punch from Zoroark gets a good connection on the Cantonian Muck, and Skuntank is going to follow it up with the Kowtow Cleave, taking some inspiration there from King Gambit as Muck, the Alolan Muck that is still having its health restored, and it is the quickest on the field, going with the extreme speed, almost gets the elimination of Skuntank in the process, and the Cantonian Muck follows up with the Vacuum Wave onto Zoroark. It is super effective, and it gets the elimination with that critical hit. The Future Royal Gators get their first one on the board, as Skuntank is going to go for the Absorb onto the Alolan Muck. Not very effective, very minimal health being taken there. Skuntank is still such an easy target on the field as the Alolan Muck continues to have its health restored, and it is now Mabostif coming out onto the field. It's already poisoned though, as it goes with the Scary Face. It is the quickest on the field, and it is going to lower that speed of the Cantonian Muck, as the Alolan Muck is going to go with the Psy Shock, but this will not work. It should know better because it's a part Dark type. They're immune to Psychic type moves, but the Wave Crash from Skuntank going for the Cantonian Muck, a fantastic connection there. The Skuntank is get damaged by the recoil, and that is going to take itself out of this matchup. We know that Samurott will be coming out onto the field soon, but first the Tail Slap onto Mabostif from the Cantonian Muck. This multi-hit move, it needs to get as many connections as possible because that poisoning will also follow it up, and it does get 3 hits from that as the Alolan Muck, continues to have its health restored, and there is Mabostif feeling the effects of that poisoning. And speaking of poisons, Samurott comes out onto the field, landing in those toxic spikes. It is going to be badly poisoned. It is going to get progressively worse with every turn as the Giga Impact from Mabostif onto the Alolan Muck. A fantastic hit there, and Samurott could follow it up here with something big. It goes with the Sticky Web, laying that entry hazard on the side of the future Royal Gators. Whoever lands in that will be slowed down immediately. And the Alolan Muck here with the Rock Blast onto Samurott. Another multi-hit move being performed by these Mucks on the field. And it's got 4 of this 5 connection move, and it will complete it. Is a 5-time connection in our Champions game, as the Cantonian Muck follows it up with the Eruption that connects with both Mabosstiff and Samurott, but it is doing barely any damage to Samurott there, as Mabosstiff takes the critical hit, and there is Muck still having its health restored. But speaking of health, Mabosstiff is put in knockout range by its poisoning, and Samurott is already getting very close to being an easy target, but it is going to be the first one moving on with that Rock Slide onto both Mucks, putting them both in knockout range. And Mabosstiff does have to recharge. The Mucks could capitalize Alolan Muck with the Power Trick, though. It doesn't go on the offensive. Could have gone for an easy elimination, but instead it switches its attack and defense. The Cantonian Muck needs to go for something. It goes with the Synthesis. It is going to restore its health here on the field, and it is such an easy target. It really needed to restore that health. And speaking of health restorations, the Alolan Muck is continuing to absorb that nutrients as Samurott is getting worse with that poisoning, but Mabosstiff needs to hold on here, and it does, but barely by a thread. Is such an easy target, but first it's going to go and set up the Misty Terrain. I wonder if anyone's going to go for any Weakened Dragon moves in the meantime, as that mist does swirl around the battlefield. Now the charge beam from Samurott onto Muck puts it back into knockout range, but it is able to hold on as Samurott gets the special attack boost. The Alolan Muck looking to respond goes for the spit up, but it hasn't gone for a stockpile, so that is going to fail. The Cantonian Muck is going to go with the Alluring Voice and gets the easy elimination. That super effective move takes Mabosstiff out, and Samurott is going to feel the effects of this poisoning, but I have to think, should Muck have gone for Samurott, and then you could have potentially gotten a double elimination, as Samurott is put into knockout range, and it is going to be joined by Bombardier. It doesn't have to worry about those spikes here, as the Future Royal Gators have taken the lead, but Samurott has just leveled it by taking the Cantonian Muck out with that Psycho Cut, and Bombardier is going to follow it up with the Bone Rush. That multi-hit move connects once, and the second one will cause it to complete the huge play of Mucks being taken out on this match, putting the Spike and Smoke Grunts immediately back in front. The Future Royal Gators are down to the last 2 Pokemon, but unfortunately Samurott is eliminated because its poisoning is going to take it out. We are down to our last 2 Pokemon for our last 2 teams. KingNido comes out into the field, Sneasler on the side of the Future Royal Gators, and it is Toxtricity. This is for it all, our last 2 Pokemon for these 2 sides. Whoever wins is our champion. That speed being lowered to the Future Royal Gators. Sneasler is exerting that pressure here over the Spike Myth Suede Grunts. But so is Kingambit, because fittingly enough both these sides are feeling that pressure, but here is the Swift from Bombardier connecting with both Toxtricity and Sneasler. Sneasler is going to respond with the Pain Split, taking a little bit of that health from Kingambit so that it can have its own restored, and Kingambit is going to respond with the Morning Sun, so it's instantly just going to restore itself back to full strength. I cannot believe we're down to our last 2 Pokemon for both these sides. The Grassy Terrain is being set up. That Misty Terrain is going to disappear from the field, and anybody who has their feet planted on the field, sorry Bombardier, is going to have their health restored if they have taken damage, as we see happening to Toxtricity right now. But Bombardier is going to go for the Skitter Smack here onto Toxtricity. Not very effective. Toxtricity tanks that move, but it does have its special attack lowered, and that is a base 114 special attack. And Pokemon is the Burning Jealousy, connects with the Kingambit, and Bombardier is super effective on Kingambit, who responds with the Electro Web, hitting both Toxtricity and Sneasler. Not very effective on Toxtricity, but lowering the speed of the 2 Poison type Pokemon yet again. The Spike and Swag Grunts want that speed control, but the Aqua Ring, Toxtricity wants that health nice and full. There is the health being restored of Kingambit and Sneasler, as well as Toxtricity having its health restored, and that Aqua Ring, that Veil of Water, restoring a little bit of extra here for the Electric Poison type of Bombardier with the Screech onto Toxtricity. It is going to greatly lower that defense, make it an easier physical target, but the speed swap from Kingambit, switching speeds with Sneasler here, but I believe King Gambit should still be quicker as the slash from Toxtricity gets a good hit there onto Bombardier, and Sneasler is going to follow it up with the Boom Burst on the Bombardier, and King Gambit not very effective on King Gambit, but some good damage being done to Bombardier as King Gambit has its health restored, as does Toxtricity and Sneasler, and that's because they've only switched their base speeds. That is why Sneasler is so slow right now, and King Gambit, the quickest on the field, goes with the flail onto Toxtricity, gets a good hit, and Bombardier looking to follow it up, goes with the crunch. Looks like they want Toxtricity off the field, and Toxtricity is eliminated with a massive crunch from Bombardier. Sneasler, who's all by itself, it goes with the Thunder Fang, but it should have gone for Bombardier as we get our first time on instead of wait for King Gambit. And if we go into overtime, the remaining Pokemon will be restored to full strength, and we will go into a singles battle with a Rock Blast here from King Gambit. This multi-hit move, they need to go for quicker moves because they do not want Sneasler here by itself. Sneasler should have gone for the Thunder Fang on Bombardier, as Bombardier with the Calm Mind, it is going to boost those special stats, and we have seen especially offensive Bombardier numerous times throughout this season. Sneasler going for the Sing, but King Gambit is able to avoid that attack at this very crucial time in this matchup, and it has its health restored, as does Sneasler here, and that grass will disappear from the battlefield as King Gambit goes with the Incinerate onto Sneasler. And you have to think the Swag Grunts have been very smart here because neither of these two Pokemon are poisoned from those toxic spikes that were set up, but the Hammer Arm now onto Sneasler, not very effective from Bombardier. Bombardier is going to sacrifice some speed to do so, but I believe it'll still be quicker than Sneasler, who goes with the Body Slam on to King Gambit. Not very effective, gets an okay hit, but it really maybe should focus in on Bombardier as the toxic threat here from King Gambit is going to slow down Sneasler even more, but it is not going to leave it poison because you cannot poison them. Poison type Pokemon, but the False Swipe, that is not a shiny Sneasler. The Magical Leaf in response is not very effective on Bombardier as we are in our countdown. King Gambit with the Gyro Ball, we could be going into overtime. Sneasler's in knockout range, and it is Bombardier with the Earthquake. This will hit everybody on the field. King Gambit holds on, it's super effective, but Sneasler is eliminated. We have our champions. The Spikeless Swag Grunts have won. They have won. The Dark types have overwhelmed this season, and we have got our champions. A fantastic showing here, but they get the 2 victories to make themselves the champions of the PokeType League. Congratulations to the Spikeless Swag Grunts here on Pokemon Day in an unbelievable back and forth showing. And thank you so much to everybody who's watched throughout this season. Nidorinos, thank you so much. Let us know in the comments below your favorite moment from this season, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome. You are so awesome, and I really enjoyed this match, and I will see you when you see me.